All right, moving on to updates from United States of America. American Representative and Republican Thomas Massie has introduced a bill that effectively withdraws the United States membership from the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or the NATO. Remember, this comes after the U.S. revised its security strategy that puts America first. In a statement, the Republican senator introduced the bill, H.R. 6508, the NATO Act, and said this act may be cited as the Not Trusted Organization Act. While introducing the bill, Massie stated that NATO is a Cold War relic. The senator also said that the U.S. should withdraw from the NATO and use that money to defend the homeland and not socialist countries. Thomas Massie further went on to say that NATO was created to counter the Soviet Union that collapsed over 30 years ago. He added that Washington's involvement has cost taxpayers trillions of dollars. Now, this new bill requires the U.S. president to formally notify NATO of Washington's withdrawal under Article 13 of the North Atlantic Treaty. The bill highlights that NATO's original Cold War purpose no longer aligns with current American national security interests. It also finds that European NATO members have adequate economic and military capacity to provide for their own defense. The NATO Act prevents use of U.S. taxpayers' funds for the alliance's common budgets, including civil, military, and security investment program. This bill comes after U.S. President Trump called European countries as weak and decaying. In an interview with Politico, Donald Trump alleged that the NATO alliance is calling him daddy. The U.S. president's remarks come on the close heels of a new national security strategy that was released last week. In the updated strategy, the U.S. called for limited cooperation with Moscow. The apparent softening of tone on Russia comes as a new strategy mentioned that Donald Trump's foreign policy vision is going one of flexible realism. The 29-page statement said that the U.S. policy from now on will be defined by what works for America above all, or in two words, America first. In an interview with Fox Business earlier this year, U.S. State Secretary Scott Bessent had said bluntly that if Russia moves deeper into NATO territory, the United States will not deploy troops. Instead, he said America's role would be limited to supplying weapons. However, NATO's supreme allied commander in Europe, General Alexis Greenkey-Wick, has said that Europe's defenses will not be strained by a reduced American troop presence on the continent. Greenkey-Wick has downplayed growing concerns about Washington's long-term commitment to the alliance. Earlier this week, the NATO commander expressed confidence in the capabilities of Europe as well as Canada.